Welcome back to Learn SKN, and today we're going to be looking at the Principles of Business Paper 1 from 2016, May-June 2016, Principles of Business Paper 1. So that's what we're going to be looking at. So let's just jump right into it. All right, the first question we have here is the term trade refers to, and the best answer here is C, any commercial activity involving the exchange of goods and services. Any commercial activity involving the exchange of goods and services. So the best answer here is C. Number 2, which of the following types of business environment is most typical of the Commonwealth Caribbean? And of course, we're talking about the economic systems, and so the best one for the Caribbean would be B, the mixed economy. So only Cuba would have this centrally planned economy in the Caribbean, and the perfectly competitive one doesn't really exist. It only exists for certain commodities, but the best answer here is the mixed economy. Number 3, a person who has the ability to seek out and undertake the risk of a new business opportunity is referred to as, and of course we all know this one, the best answer here is an entrepreneur. The person who takes the risk to start their own business is an entrepreneur. 4, in a public limited company, the losses are borne by the, and the best answer here is the shareholders. It's a public limited company, and the owners of this company would be the shareholders. Number 5, in which of the following types of economic systems does the government make all the economic decisions? So all economic decisions are made by the government in the command economy. The command economy. So the best answer here is C, the command economy. Number 6, which of the following is not an activity in the planning process? Which is not an activity in the planning process? Of course, setting goals is part of planning. Identifying resources is part of planning. Delegating is part of planning. So the best answer here is B, establishing policies. That is not a part of the planning process just yet. Number 7. Item 7 refers to the following information. Mr. Lloyd, manager of LM Limited, holds regular staff meetings to listen to ideas from employees before making decisions that would affect the future of the company. What leadership style does Lloyd employ? And the best answer is democratic, because he actually considers the opinions and views of subordinates. The autocrat don't listen to anybody, just do everything himself. The charismatic is leading through basically personality, and laissez-faire is everybody do what they want, but come to the end you have to come up with something. But the best answer here is a democratic, where you actually allow other people to voice their opinions, but the ultimate decision is up to you, your boss. Number 8, selecting the objectives and procedures for achieving goals is referred to as planning. So it is part of the planning process. Number 9, which of the following demonstrates the characteristics of a good leader? Okay, you have 1, inspiring workers, 2, delegating responsibilities, and 3, making intelligent decisions. Of course, it's kind of obvious. To be a good leader, you have to make intelligent decisions, and you have to inspire your workers. You also have to delegate responsibilities, because you don't want anybody micromanaging. So the best answer here is D, which incorporates all of the above statements. Number 10, under which of the following categories would subsidized meals for employees fall? And the best answer is fringe benefits, such as parking and vehicles and those stuff. Fringe benefits. Number 11, which of the following activities carried out in a firm is not under the supervision of the marketing manager? And the best answer here is purchasing. That would be more like the sales or something like that, or the those who are the production people might be the one in charge of purchasing. So marketing would include advertising, distributing, and packaging. That's marketing. Number 12, an entrepreneur who wants to maintain control of the business would be advised to register the business as a, and the best answer is sole trader, because you are the one who is solely in control of your business. limited company and private limited companies, they tend to have shareholders and they can buy out the company if you don't look sharp. Number 13, which of the following is a regulatory issue for the entrepreneur? And the best answer here is paying national insurance to the government. So anything to do with the government is normally a regulatory issue. Taxes and those things, those are part of regulatory issues, and that's the government. So the best answer is C, paying national insurance to government. Number 14, the most important use of collateral security to the lender is that it establishing financial position of the borrower, can be seized if the borrower fails to pay, improves the borrower's chance of getting a loan, and gives the lender an idea of the business. So the best answer here is, they say most important to the lender. So the best answer here is B. So let me just correct this. All right, the best answer here is B. Let's remove this one. So the best answer here is B. My train of thought for C was that they're talking about the borrower, but no, they say the lender, most important for the lender, and it can be seized if the borrower fails to pay. So if the borrower fails to pay the money, of course the lender would seize the capital, the collateral. All right, number 15. Which of the following is not an example of an unethical business practice? And this one is kind of obvious. All right. A, money laundering. No, that's unethical. B, non-payment of taxes. That's unethical. C, misleading advertising. Unethical. So the best answer is D, retrenching inefficient workers. So that's basically letting go of inefficient workers. So if you're not working properly, of course I'm going to let you go. Number 16. A post-dated check is one which post means after, so therefore we're talking about C, is dated for payment at a future date. Future date, so that's post-dated. Number 17, which of the following reasons can be used for voiding a contract? These options: there are no consideration. 2, there was no meeting of minds, and 3, the agreement was not in writing. Of course, a contract doesn't have to be in writing. It can be oral. So therefore, that one term eliminates this. So anything with 3 is eliminated. So the best answer is A. 1 and 2, there was no consideration and there was no meeting of minds. Number 18. A contract may be discharged by, and the best answer here is A, breach. So if somebody fails to do their part, then the contract is breached, and so that is one way to discharge a contract. Number 20, Fred and his friends went to the cinema. On his way out, Fred fell and was injured. What type of insurance would protect the owner of the cinema against claims made by Fred? So the best example here, the best answer here is B, public liability insurance. This is insurance used to cover people who have public spaces in their operations. So public limited liability insurance. Number 20. Which of the following types of checks allow an individual to receive cash on demand? And the best answer here is open. The open or uncrossed check. Once you have an open check, you can go to the counter and get the cash one time. Number 21. To which of the following industries does a firm involved in food processing belong? Again, secondary industry. So therefore, the best answer here is D, manufacturing. So you're making something. So the best answer is D, the manufacturing sector. Number 22. Joseph has decided to leave his homeland of Jamaica to go to the US in search of a better life. This movement is referred to as, and the best one I can come up with is the external migration. You might think brain drain, but they never really said the capacity of Joseph, his mental or his academic capacity. So you don't know if you're leaving, you're losing someone who is, qualified. But either way, the best answer here is external migration. 23. Mr. Jones received a job offer from a company in Barbados. In order to take up this new job, Mr. Jones decides to leave his home country of Trinidad and move permanently to Barbados. In Trinidad, Mr. Jones would be referred to as, and so the best answer here is B, an immigrant. So in Barbados, he will be known as an immigrant, that's where he's going to, but in Trinidad, he'll be referred to as an immigrant because he's leaving to go somewhere else. 24. One feature of capital-intensive firms is that, and the best answer here is C, use more machinery and less people. That's the definition of capital-intensive. They use more machinery and less people. Number 25, which of the following conditions would constitute a linkage between two industries? And the best answer here is D. The output of one industry of the economy becomes the input of another industry. So that's a linkage right there. The output of one becomes the input of another. So that can be, for example, the primary industry where you make, let's say, tomatoes, and the tomatoes become the input for a ketchup industry, which is a secondary industry like ketchup making, which is manufacturing. So the best answer is D for this one. 26. Which of the following results is least likely to occur from growth in an organization? Alright, so least likely to occur from growth in an organization. And the best answer here is C, increased communication. Now, as businesses grow, communication becomes more and more difficult. So that's the least likely to occur from growth, is increasing communication, because you have more people. So communication might just become more difficult. So it might decrease. 27. Which of the following commodities is a product of the manufacturing industry? Again, manufacturing. So the best answer is A, because gold is from extractive mining, lumber is from extractive, when you go to timber and stuff like that. And D, houses will be a part of the construction. So cars would be more manufacturing. 28, which the term loss leader is best describe a product which, and the best answer here is sold cheaply to attract customers. So you put a product up, they sell it at a loss, or you sell it cheaply to attract customers to buy more lucrative products. People do it all the time in businesses. You put the cheap stuff up, you put stuff up front, sell it for cheap, lower them in, and then they get charged for the more high-end stuff. 29. Under which of the following conditions is a trade discount used? Okay, so normally a trade discount is used to when you buy stuff in volumes. So the best answer here is A, bulk purchases. So the best answer is A, bulk purchases. 30, we're halfway there. Which of the following is not a term of sale? No, the best answer here is shares, because in shares you're not really buying anything per se. Cash, sure, you pay for stuff with cash, you pay for stuff on credit, and you can use higher purchase to buy stuff. But shares is not really a term for sale. 31, which of the following factors is least likely to influence consumer behavior? So supply and demand. And the best answer is place of residence, because with globalization, it doesn't really matter where you live, you can always buy stuff online. So place of residence isn't really an issue when it relates to consumer behavior. Product price, sure. Brand loyalty, sure. Quality of goods, sure. 32. A situation where business gains editorial space without having to pay for it is called publicity. So they say any publicity is good publicity, so free publicity. So that's where your name is mentioned, maybe in a newspaper, magazine, or something, and so you don't have to pay for it. So therefore, it is publicity. Marketing you have to pay for. Advertising you have to pay for. Discounting by its nature is you're paying less for something. So the best answer here is publicity. 33. The price of an article is usually high when there is against supply and demand. So the best answer here is D, when there is a small quantity for sale and many people wanting to buy it. So when something is in high demand but is in low supply, the price tend to go up as people are bidding to get that product. 34. In a Caribbean territory, there is only one supplier that provides electricity to all homes. businesses and commodities. What market structure does this best illustrate? And the best answer is monopoly, where you have one supplier and many buyers. So that's a monopoly. 35. Which of the following terms is associated with a stock market? And the best answer here is risk and benefit. The stock market is a very risky venture. You can lose your money in overnight as company stocks plummet. So the best answer here is risk and benefit. But if they don't plummet and the stocks go up, then you will receive great rewards. 36. Tom invests in his savings by buying shares in a company. From this investment, Tom expects to receive, of course, your reward for investing in shares would be dividends. So the best answer here is D, dividends. 37. Mr. Jones has several bills affixed to an amount to pay each month. His bank agreed to pay them monthly from Mr. Jones' account. This service provided by the bank is referred to as, and the best answer here is a standing order. So a standing order is where the bank would pay on your behalf a fixed amount, whether it be monthly, weekly, or whatever. So a standing order is the best answer here. C. 38. One of the major functions of a central bank is to issue notes and coins. Issue notes and coins. So that's A. Issue notes and coins. Accept deposit, that's a commercial. Make loans, that's a commercial. And issue stocks and shares, that's not a bank thing. They normally issue treasury bills. Alright, 39 refers to this diagram of a demand curve and a supply curve. 39. Point Z on the diagram represents, and the best answer here is C, equilibrium point. That's where supply and demand intersects. So that's the equilibrium point. And also, still looking at this 40, the equilibrium price is, so the point at which they intersect supply and demand, and the price associated with that is $4. So that's the equilibrium price is C, $4. 41. Which of the following measures may be used by government to protect consumers? And the best answer here is 1 and 3, price controls and provision of subsidies. Customs duties don't really protect customers because, what would happen is that the price go up and they pass it, the suppliers pass it on to the customers. So the best answer here is 1 and 2, which is B, price controls and provision of subsidies. 42. Governments can influence business activity positively by reducing, of course, taxes. The best answer is taxes. You can't reduce grants, you can't reduce spending, you can't reduce subsidies. The best answer is reduce taxes for a positive outcome. Which of the following is not regarded a role of taxation? And the best answer here is to influence the investment decision of publicly owned enterprises. That's not really the rules of taxation. Let's look at them individually. Taxation, to raise revenue for government. That's the main thing government get their money from, taxes. B, to influence the distribution of income and wealth. Government use taxes to influence how redistribute income and wealth. Take from the poor, the rich give to the poor. And D, to influence total expenditure on goods and services. So this is true. You can use taxes to influence total expenditure on goods and services, such as alcohol, tobacco, those things. You can put taxes on those things to influence their spending. Also, if the economy is heating up and you have inflation, you might put in some taxes to kind of curb total expenditure. So the best answer here is C, to influence the investment decision of publicly owned enterprises. 44. Which of the following actions by government is most likely to lead to an improvement in the standard of living? Now the best answer here again is related to tax. Abolishing taxes on low incomes. If you take off taxes off low income families, then you can improve the standard of living. Printing more money will just lead to inflation, increase the income tax rate. That doesn't really affect the standard of living for the poor folks. Giving tax incentive to businesses, no, they don't really spend money on businesses, so that don't work. Trickle-down economics don't work. So the best answer is abolishing taxes on low income so that they can have more purchasing power and increase the standard of living. 45. Which of the following statements accurately describes taxation as a means of redistributing income? Redistributing incomes, and the best answer here is the higher income earners are taxed at a higher rate to provide benefits to lower income earners. So you tax the higher ones more so that you can use the rest money to do things like, welfare and, food stamps and those kind of things. So that's how you redistribute income in that way. Number 46. Which of the following best explains a proportional tax? And the best answer for this one is B. The same rate of tax is paid at all income levels. So the same rate. Not the same exact amount, but the same rate. If you're charging 50% at high income, you also charge 50% at lower income. So the same rate is paid at all income levels, proportional to your income. So 47 refers to this table here. Okay, so you have a table with exports and imports, goods and services, and you have to calculate the balance of trade. So the balance of trade, the best answer here is D, which is positive 200 million. How we get that? So the balance of trade includes both goods, exports and imports of goods and services, the difference between those two. So you're going to put the exports first, which would be 160 plus 300. So that's 460. So you put the 460 first, and then you minus the imports, which is 260, and you get 200, positive 200. So exports goes first. All right, so you have a trade surplus right there. 48. In calculating net national product, depreciation refers to the, and the best answer here is C, decrease in capital stock value. So another name for depreciation is reduction in capital formation, capital stock. So a reduction in capital stock value is another name for depreciation. 49. Which of the following practices would contribute to the economic growth and development of a country? And the best answer here is D, the provision of loans and technical assistance for establishing local businesses that can lead to economic growth and development. Now let's look at the others. Increase importation of consumer goods. No. If you increase importation, that's not beneficial to the country. That's for the overseas country that's exporting. B, decrease the use of countries' natural resources. Of course, depleting your resources cannot lead to economic growth or development. C, exporting skilled personnel to development countries. That's brain drain. No, that don't help with development of your country. So the best answer is D, provision of loans and technical assistance for establishing local businesses. 50, we're almost there. 50, export license are issued mainly to, and of course the best and obvious answer is a government thing. So it's to enable a government. So it's B, to enable a government to control the flow of goods being exported. They need to know what's being exported, so you use the license so you know what's being exported. So that's the main reasons for export license. Alright, number 51. A measure which limits the quantity of goods and services citizens of a country are allowed to buy from overseas is known as an import quota. So a quota, so it's D, import quota. So a quota is used to put a hard limit on how much goods you can import. So you say a measure used to limit the quantity of goods and services a country allowed to buy from overseas is known as an import quota. So buying goods from overseas is called importing, and so therefore a hard number on it is a quota. So import quota. 52. Which of the following does not contribute to an improved standard of living of a country? And the best answer here is C, an increase in the country's population. Now the population is going to just will be more of a strain on the country's resources. So that does not contribute to an improved standard of living. Then you have, okay, so let's look at the rest. A, an increase in capital goods. No. An increase in disposable income, that's a good thing. An increase in investment, that's a good thing. So the best answer is C, an increase in the country's population. 53. Which of the following is an example of a tariff? And the tariff is a tax that is paid on imported stuff. So when you import stuff, you put on a tax on that, and that's a tariff. And the best answer here is customs duty. So when you bring in something from overseas, you have to pay a tariff, and that's a customs duty. Now 54, visible trade examines the difference between a country's. When it's a visible, we're talking about just the tangible stuff. So imports and exports of goods only. So the tangible things, the goods only. So that's the best answer is A, import and exports of goods only. 55, the term economic dualism refers to an economy in which one sector is, and the best answer here is technologically advanced while the other is technologically retarded. So in some countries, in one economy, you can have a set of people who have access to highly technological stuff, whereas the next section of the same economy only use, low-tech stuff. Like, for example, farming. You might have two different types of farming in the economy. Some people have the tractors, the machine, the implements to, large-scale farming, whereas some in the rural area might have, use the donkeys, the hoes for small-scale subsistence farming. So the best answer here is D. 56, which of the following is a benefit of CSMEs? So the best answer here is a common trade policy, because CSME also incorporates CARICOM, and CARICOM is normally used for trading. It's a trading block within its member states. So 57, the purpose of CARICOM is to, here we go again, foster interregional trade and common services. That's the best answer for that. B, to foster interregional trade and common services. CARICOM is about trading. 58, which of the following organizations would settle a dispute among banana producing countries of the Caribbean and Central America over preferential agreement with the European Union? So look at all these things involved: Caribbean, Central America, Europe. So of course the best answer is the World Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization. 59, in periods of inflation, that's when prices are going high, the ability to raise additional capital for expansion is most likely to be a problem for, and the best answer is the sole trader. That's one of the problems with sole tradership, is that you cannot really raise income as efficiently as the other types of businesses out there, because partnership, public companies, multinational, they have different people they can tap into for raising capital. And the last one, the very last one, 60, industrialization is an important strategy in the fight against poverty. Which of the following is a benefit of an increase in the development of industries? And the best answer for this one is B, a reduction in the level of imports. Why is that so? Because industrialization, you're developing, new industries within the country. So previously you would have had to import certain things, but now that they're within your grasp, you don't have to import as much. Now you have to reduce importation. So that's the best for that one, B. Alright, so that's the end of the June 2016 Csec Principles of Business Multiple Choice Paper 1. So that's the end for that. We're going to do some more multiple choice and some structure as January approaches, and that's the next exam session period. So, of course, like, subscribe, share, and click the notification bell to know when I drop Learn SKN drops another video. I'm also going to drop a link in the description for a copy of this past paper, so look out for that. You download it so you can print it if you want and do it on your own without having to look at the computer all the time. Alright, so that's it for now. Stay tuned for more.